Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Linkster Games is here, and we are ready with our Q&A.
Yeah, it's exciting. We got a bunch of questions from people from all over, from Discords and Facebook, and any
The
one...
Kickstarter itself.
Oh, yeah, okay, I should probably call that one out, yes.
So that's basically what today is going to be, Q&A about the Kickstarter, which is currently going on as we speak. It is currently sitting at 25% with 2 weeks to go.
So
We're at the 14-day mark, so we're hoping that this will spur some action because we kind of flatlined the past week.
it also helps that during this whole session we're going to be showing off the tiles. Some of them being prototypes that we've created personally, others being actually printed and sent to us from the manufacturer, in addition to the vehicles and how they interact with like zombicide tiles. And it's going to be great. It's going to be really good.
Exactly. And might as well at least head to the next screen so we can show you what that looks like.
Yeah, because... Oh, no!
You didn't!
Oh, it did!
Oh, you puddinhead.
Oh, why? Why do you hate us so? Get out of here. There we go. Good call.
Oh, shit. God damn it.
Go ahead and just close out. Interact again. Maybe that'll work. Man, it really doesn't like us. That's just awful. But anyway, while he's getting that set up, as you can see on your lovely screens, we have the actual product. Post-apocalyptic game tiles! This is the Highway 85 tile set number 1. So it has a bunch of the tiles in there for the landscapes. It's got some vehicles. And it is so cool because all of this lovely design is done by Linkster. It's got the lovely Linkster Games logo. It's got a bit of what the tiles look like. And on the top of that, it's all wrapped up. It's got the hey, let's see if I can get it on screen. Post-apocalyptic game tiles, Highway 85. On the back, you can see that it's all good and ready to go, showing you we've got 6 of these lovely guys. And 2 for the vehicles. Isn't that great? We've got a bunch of the quarters. We got highways on the side, lovely trees, because of course you can't have a highway going through your city. Or can we? That's later. Don't worry. This one just has these guys though. And all of these cars are fantastic. They punch out. One side with loveliness on it, the other side with a little bit for where you can put miniatures and stuff. It's really exciting to see like a completed, printed, put together product up front. It's like, wow. That's what I've got to say about it. It's like, wow.
Ta-da!
We good?
We're good. We're good.
Did you turn on 30-second slow mode?
No? Yes? I didn't mean to?
Here, I can help. I can help.
No, I didn't break something. The chat window broke.
I mean...
Followers only mode?
Well, I disabled.
How the hell did that... Disable the shield mode.
I'm working on it. Yeah, Slayer, apparently we broke everything. Let's see, I don't see a shield mode on my side. I don't know what that is. If you can figure out what shield mode is and turn that off, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It's best. We're the best. We spent so long making this new setup, this so beautiful new stream layout.
And we forgot how to do things with the actual technology.
Yeah, who needs it? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Slayer.
Excellent.
It wouldn't be one of our streams if something didn't go catastrophically wrong right up front.
Correct.
So, hi. So, check it out. Post. Apocalyptic game tiles. Bouncing around the screen like a DVD screensaver. Oh, it's so good. So, we're here to answer all the questions we've collected so far, look at the tiles themselves and how they fit together, and fit together with other products, and, in addition, show off a few things.
Yeah. A little later on, we'll have a sneak peek at a stretch goal that hopefully will spur people into some action.
Give us money. You're being so coy, like trying to find the right words.
Well, I was trying to come up with, spurring people into some sort of action, but I was trying to allude to another,
Hey, listen, I tell it how it is, okay?
I was trying to, put something in, mention Pacific Courier.
You wanted to be
something.
A little foxy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as a reference.
But you blew it with the money part.
I just didn't have the Willis.
I mean, I'd rather have stocks and bonds.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
But, anywho.
Well, it's not Christmas. It's... I'm trying my best, okay? It's been a long time.
Yes.
We're here to party, okay? And the party is to show off Kickstarter. Where would you like to start? Do you want to go through questions? Do you want to go show off some of the tiles?
We can start with some questions. We can show off tiles. We can do both.
Okay, cool. Well, let's do this. What do we got?
We did have some pre-printed because we were asked some questions early on.
I got 2 pages.
So we have sheets for that.
And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll answer them as they come up.
Exactly.
Easy peasy.
We've got our moderators out there doing what they need to do.
Yeah, fixing the stream for us. Thank you, Slayer. And let's get started.
Okay.
So, question, this one's the first one.
It usually would be the first one. You don't jump to question 7 on a test.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so questions. No. First one's first.
Am number 1?
He's just as broken as we are.
I guess so. No, the first question comes from Ben.
So Ben writes, "How did you get your start?"
Well, I can't do it. I can't do the joke.
Okay, so...
But back in 68, I was conceived by a union... not back that far.
Yeah, we wrote that beforehand. No. How'd you get your start making content, custom content like this?
Making custom content. I wish I had saved off a image to show you, but I didn't. But back in 97, a video game came out. A lot of people might know it, called Grand Theft Auto.
The OG Grand Theft Auto.
The top-down, you're looking at things, from above kind of idea. I was able to go through... These are a little dark. Yeah, but that's what we get from pre-printed...
That's what we get for printing it out ourselves.
Printing it ourselves on a substandard Staples printer. But I would make vehicles for the game. Because there was a customizer for the game that allowed you to create your own cars and then plug them into the game to change the game up a little bit. And the cars would look, without the circles, top-down view.
And you have to remember, this was 97. that was basically pixel art back in the day.
It was pixel art. The cars were at best 64 pixels by 64 pixels.
Which, you know, you can get a little bit of detail in there, but it takes some talent.
And the talent was generated enough to make me one of the top 5 car designers in the world.
And honestly, even looking back now, I'm surprised you could get all the different little. I'm gonna hype you up because I can't show you the pictures, but it looked really good. It really did. Like they were pretty spot on to what you were trying to draw in there.
Yeah, and being able to look at, you know, hey, this is a Mustang Mach 1 from 1969. Being able to look at that and go, that's what it is from a top-down view in such a itty-bitty little spot. That's pretty decent.
Definitely.
You know, and to be one of the top 5 designers in the world was even better. You know, the websites that I was on, they're gone now because everyone moved away from the game when the 3D version came out and so forth. But, I mean, I'm sure you'll find my stuff out there. You look for Linkster's Autos, and they're around. Because that's what I called it back then.
Yeah.
So, but, with that knowledge in hand, Zombicide came out in 2012.
And, of course, he jumped in on the Kickstarter.
Because I liked zombies, and I liked the idea of the game. The game was fun, it's cooperative, and it was never the same game twice because the cards dictated, you know, the randomness and what you did for strategies and whatnot. But with first edition and only having a dozen tiles, you didn't have much with the first Kickstarter.
I mean, it hadn't got its steamroll going.
Right.
Because if you look at the Kickstarter now for, like, White Death, it's just like, whoosh.
There's 99 survivors. There's 15, 16 something more add-ons that you shake a stick at. It's crazy.
But back in the day, there was a need for more content. So to make your layouts of the board just a bit different with adding a few different tiles.
Right. I mean, the following year, they came out with the next, you know, the Season 2 and then Season 3 and so forth. So you got more tiles that way. But I didn't want to wait, so I started making tiles. Mm-hmm. And those tiles, compared to today, compared to what we've got right here.
Yeah, 11 years ago. that...
They were.
It was workable. It was good, but it wasn't high quality.
They were ugly. Compared to today's look, they were ugly. Very, very limited assets could be used in today's tiles.
Yeah.
Some of them work out okay because they're small assets, but most everything, except for the design structure itself, had to be scrapped. And my first tile set that I did back then was Highway 85, tile set 1. Mm-hmm. It was a set of tiles designed for my Walk of the Dead missions that I had started to create, but then, you know, life got in the way.
Yeah.
You know, from 2013 until 2018, my life was kind of flipped upside down because my wife ended up, you know, being diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and all my concentration was taking care of her and making sure everything, you know, was met with her needs. And, you know, sadly, you know, that came to a close in 2018. And, you know, losing my job shortly thereafter didn't help either.
Of course.
But I started to get a little more free time and just, you know, started monkeying around. And, well, look at where we're at now.
Yeah, an actual printed product of the art that you've created
Yep.
to add into any post-apocalyptic game on the table you can think of.
Yep. Post-apocalyptic game, any modern game, you know, an RPG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these tiles, they do come with a grid on one side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So RPGs that do a grid-based movement,
many of them,
most of them,
yeah,
they use that. As a matter of fact, I think you might have one sitting over there.
I certainly do. So I'll grab just a standard one.
I'm going to pull this box out of the way because it is a box.
Yep. So here is an example of one of the tiles just by itself. This is the grid side. You've got some trees. You've got a bit of highway.
You got a cop standing on the road.
Hey.
You got a bad guy standing over here in this square by the tree.
Yeah. And if you are doing like any like RPG like Dungeons and Dragons or any of the others with a rule set for like 5-foot squares or square movement, that kind of thing.
D20 Modern would work beautifully with these tiles.
Unless you're trying to run a weird game where your medieval fantasy wizard has been transported into the future.
Which would be weird.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
It works out just great. And it works well. Like, I'm going to grab one of these guys. Let's get one that's a little lighter. Just a random card.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you pulled out the one random card that I wanted to show originally.
Oh, hey, great.
Because that is the car. That is a Plymouth Horizon. It was the first car I ever made.
Really?
For Grand Theft Auto back in 97.
Oh, it all ties together. Look at that. It's so good. We didn't even plan it.
Didn't even plan it.
It's in the middle of the stack I got over here. So you can see. It works great. It fits in with the little crosswalk. The cop was checking out this car illegally parked on the side of the road facing the wrong direction. And the bad guy is way just out of sight behind a bush. See if he's going to get a ticket or not.
Yeah. I just got a message from someone.
Oh, okay.
Who's lurking.
Ooh.
But knows how bad ALS is.
Oh.
So, we appreciate it, because I don't wish that on anybody. Even a mortal enemy. There's no way.
No.
But continuing.
So that covers where you came from. Started in GTA.
There's another guy. His partner come running onto the field.
Showing off the minis we painted during the middle of the week streams that we've done.
Correct. See, now, since it's a cop...
Oh, you gotta have a cop car.
Gotta have a cop car. See?
Classic.
Classic cop car. Boop. Now, you will all...
So let me grab another one of these.
Okay.
So they all fit together really nicely. Because if I just scroll this guy up a little bit, put this guy right next to it, fits right up. These guys are modular. We'll meet up together like that. The fun part is also that if you're not doing a system that needs a grid on it at all, you can just go without. So I'm just going to
let's
slide those guys over.
Carefully put these guys off here. Where's the cop car?
There you go.
Put the cop car here. He comes screeching up. The bad guys, what car did they have? Here, they drove in a taxi.
Yeah.
And
you don't need the little grid combat. You can go ahead and just do it normally here. There's some dark bands to show distances and things, so you can say, oh, yeah, this middle one over here, I'm doing this there. I'm going to go 7 feet forward and get your measuring tape.
Correct.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons for the way I did this is...
It matches with Zombicide really well. Check that out.
Those are original Zombicide tiles.
That's
meshing up pretty decently with what I've got.
So that's the first edition right there. It also matches the second edition. I've got a couple of those over here too. I'm just going to get rid of this guy up here for...
Oh yeah, you want second edition?
That one. There's another one for you.
Oh yeah, these are all... I got the first edition ones over here. So meshing them up with second edition and the Dark Zone.
Yep. The Dark Zone we can see is up top. Oh, thanks, Blood9.
Yeah, thanks, Blood9.
Yeah, the tiles work really great. I mean, Zombicide specifically, but also other games.
Correct.
And they are really well done. I mean, they've got, bold outlines to show there's a difference in height. You can see on the trees there, even on our not 110% fantastic camera. Just 90% awesome camera.
We work with what we can afford.
That's how it goes.
$40, $50 cameras. We don't go the high-end stuff. If we did, everyone would look like my camera.
But yeah, it works out really well.
It does.
So that kind of goes into the next question of what exactly are they? And I can field that if you'd like.
Go ahead.
So they are sturdy cardboard, very similar to what you'd get in any other game.
This is an original Zombicide that you're hearing.
And here's same basic deal.
They sound identical.
Printed one side with the grid, one side without. Solid cardboard. What is the thickness? 2 millimeter?
2 millimeter, yes. You are correct. They are a 2 millimeter thick tile.
They are 25 centimeter square. And it is lovely. It is absolutely wonderful. What size is the grid? Asks DS0682.
Well, the grid is approximately 1 inch square. It's actually 2.5 centimeters square for the grid, if you wanted to flip it over to the grid.
Oh, I guess I can show off grid when we're talking about grid. Whoop.
The minis are an inch. They're inch round minis. Okay, even toss out a couple of Zombicide ones.
Oh yeah, so these ones are ones we've painted from the
Batman animated series game.
Yeah, and I can just throw out a bunch of zombies over here. They're crawling up from the park.
Quick, the bad guy has to turn around and he's helping the cop.
Bleh.
And you can see that they fit pretty decently in the circle. It's hard to see. Let me pull these two guys out. It's hard to see.
Oh, thank you.
Because they're not painted very well.
Bleh.
But they fit it quite nicely. They fit the grid quite nicely. And you get 10 by 10. So they're basically 2.5 centimeters each.
Let's see. What's the next one? Oh, Alex. Alex has a question that says, are these 100% compatible with Zombicide tiles? I.e., same size, etc. And do they take into account dark and light rooms, and mission crates, objective tokens, that kind of thing?
Well, for that, we need to hand you that one.
Take that.
We're going to go to a couple of my pre-printed tiles that I went ahead and just went to Staples for. They're not the greatest in the world.
Yeah. These are what we could do on our own.
I don't... Hey, right there. Grab that pile.
Oh, all right. So we got a bunch of options here. And because we did it ourselves, the color isn't exactly right.
These are the city tiles.
There you go.
City set 1, which is in the Kickstarter. So, we want to do...
We'll put the two buildings there together.
That.
Huh?
We want to put this one up there, and then throw out a regular dark zone. No, you can put that one up there.
Oh, that matches up. Okay. Yeah.
It's supposed to match up. And then just put another one from there.
So, this is printing at Staples.
Oh, let's do this, though.
Do. Yeah.
There.
Yeah, good call, Slayer. Yeah, just another note. If you do have a question as we're talking, throw it in chat. We'll address it as they come up. Easy.
Exactly.
So this one down here, in this bottom left corner, is the standard Zombicide tile. It's got the one zone and a dark zone. But the rest of them are all printed by us. Custom made, created. We've got a nice cross here. And you can see this middle zone is a dark zone. The other's not. Then we've got a dark zone here. And then the large firehouse.
Yep. The large firehouse, which would normally hold a vehicle that you have over there.
Oh, I've got it in my file?
You got it over there.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna find it.
I think.
Probably have it somewhere.
You got it.
The urban assault vehicle?
The urban assault vehicle is over there.
That's not the one. I've got snowplow. Okay, hold on.
I got the Scooby car. No, I don't have it here.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, here. I'll put it in the bay where it belongs.
Bump, 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 bump. Boop. Look familiar? maybe this will help. I'll put that guy hanging out.
Put Slimer in there?
Yeah. I've got...
You don't have any of the Ghostbusters.
I didn't fish him out. I've got some standard Zombicide guys.
Right.
So, like, I can...
But, yes, this is the Firehouse / Ghostbuster headquarters. Now, these are actual... these are just me printing them at Staples. These 5 tiles.
It's not even the same cardboard, unfortunately.
It's not the same cardboard. These warp because they're substandard. And because I printed them at Staples, they're much darker than they're going to be when they're printed out for real.
It does help a little bit for the stream right now because you can see the variations on those.
Grab one of the real tiles that was printed from my manufacturer.
Sure. Let me go ahead and grab just the one in the middle.
And let's take it.
There you go.
I think it's this side. Yeah, this side. This is one of the real tiles from the manufacturer. I just wanted to showcase.
So you can see there is a color difference
there? There is a color difference. That's the reasoning. It's a better color from the manufacturer.
And that's what you'll be getting with the Kickstarter.
Correct.
The right color balance. It works a bit better because you can see this is a normal tile from 2nd edition. This is the one we made totally custom, had to do ourselves. This one we got printed. Right.
And
this is what's going to be happening for the Kickstarter.
And you can tell, because these are prototypes up here, this dark zone is a little lighter than this dark zone compared to those 2 dark zones over there, which are like dark.
Like, absolutely gone.
They're supposed to be more this color. I was messing around with the color scheme.
So this Kickstarter does not have any of the Black Plague, Green Horde. Those are all fantasy styled.
Correct.
This whole pack is just going to be modern or post-modern, post-apocalyptic, either way.
It's all... The Kickstarter is modern tiles only. I do have on the docket working on some fantasy tiles.
So this specific Kickstarter won't have any, but we are looking to actually get them going in the future because I love Black Plague. The Green Horde mechanic's fantastic. The dragons are awesome.
And since they're beautiful... Because it is fantasy based, I can easily turn around and I've been playing D&D since 1989.
Yeah,
I'm an old school guy. Yeah. So having tiles like this for a Black Plague or for Forgotten Realms D&D to throw a map down, there you go. There's your town. It's beautiful. Works wonderful.
No problem. We got you. So,
yes, we do.
Let's see, what else do we got? So, you can see on the tiles, generally, what to expect. We've got buildings in the correct sizes to kind of match the Zombicide tiles.
The doorways.
Doorways are outlined, so like this doorway up here is just off screen, but...
And then you got the doorways into the individual rooms. Mm-hmm. I've made the floors different for each room. That way you can easily also tell which one it is. I mean, as an Easter egg, a lot of the tiles do have them. They have Easter eggs in them quite nicely. Like this one, removing Slimer in the car, this is the Ghostbusters HQ. There's many little Easter eggs. I tried to make it as best to the actual firehouse as I could. You can even read Venkman's nameplate on his desk. These lines here indicate like your zone lines if you're playing it with Zombicide.
And you can actually go back on YouTube, watch the VOD of us doing Extra Life last year.
2022 Extra Life. We used these tiles and these two here. This tile here is it's a Chinese restaurant along with a bay specifically for a certain Ecto 1 to go in there. But it's not the Ecto 1 from the original. This is the reboot with the girls.
And, you know, it's a good nod. Having the Chinese restaurant, the bay for the new Ecto 1. In addition, we've got... Next door, we've got this lovely dojo. You've got the mat on the floor, and you've got some of the
And in actuality,
equipment.
we kind of should have done it this way.
Well, why is that?
Because the restaurant needs to butt up
Oh, there's the
to
kitchen.
the kitchen
Okay, well.
of the restaurant.
That just shows you it's totally modular. You can do what you want.
Exactly. This dark room here, it's a little hard to see, but look in the corner. Zooming in.
Looks suspiciously like a pimp weapon crate.
Even though it's not. It's an army crate. I put army crates down. Yes, you could use them as pimp weapon crates if you want.
So we do have some things on these tiles where you could put like objectives and pimp weapon crates and all of that for the actual gameplay.
And to keep these to not be Zombicide exclusive tiles, because I cannot market them as such.
No.
You put your objectives wherever you want. You put your pimp crates, your epic weapons, I think they're calling them now.
Oh, okay. They're switching it up.
Wherever you want.
Yeah.
And this dojo here also has some Easter eggs in it. A little hard to tell.
I mean, he tried putting in as many teeny little Easter eggs as he could. So, like the scattered papers will have references to zombie flicks on them. We'll have
gi right there. It's hard to see because I'm shaking. But that gi is from Cobra Kai. Because that's actually the dojo from Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay.
I went ahead and I'm like, you know what? I needed another tile that goes in the city. And I've got a Chinese restaurant. I needed a Chinese kitchen for the restaurant. So what else goes with it? How about a Japanese dojo?
Why not?
You know, Okinawan dojo. Sorry.
I haven't actually seen Cobra Kai, even though I've heard it's pretty good.
It's the sequel to the movies.
Well, of course.
Of the Karate Kid. The originals.
This guy's getting eaten.
Quite fun.
And so, you'll find little references to that, pulp culture, all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, next.
I mean, you will find newspapers that talk about the apocalypse. Oh, yeah.
No problems
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You got it? You got one on there?
It's hard to see it.
I mean, you're going to have to actually get the tiles in person or take a real big zoom in on the digital files.
It's hard to see it. But
A nice bloody newspaper.
that bloody newspaper,
Uh-huh.
it's the newspaper from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, the OG. I'm just going to say OG all this entire time.
It's the OG. It's the zombie flick that started the genre of zombies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not?
So they are 100% compatible with Zombicide. And they've got all kinds of pop references in there that you can explore for yourself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matthew asks, are the digital files suitable for high-quality home printing? And I think you can see all of these guys up here is exactly what we've done. We've found cardboard, we printed these off, we glued them down ourselves, and it's beautiful. It's great, and the digital files themselves are just the right size to print out. The only issue
Is something like that.
it's not...
Can't see it. There. See that corner peeling up?
We didn't glue it down correctly.
No, that's the glue separating because,
Oh, well.
unfortunately, it's kind of what you get. Now, because these tiles are 25 centimeters square...
A home printer's not going to do it. No way.
It depends on your home printer, because I don't know what kind of printers they have over in Europe.
So, your standard 8x11 color printer, not
which
going
is
to
a
handle
U.S. size.
I don't know European sizes.
European size has like A4, A something else. They have these A sizes. I don't know how big in inches A4 is. But if A4 is wide enough to be a 10 by 17 sheet of paper or something, yeah, you could print them at home. The Kickstarter, it does have several levels that are digital tile only.
So you don't have to get a full printout and get shipping and everything.
Correct.
You can just get a high-quality art file to print off on yourself or find someone in your local area to print off for you.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you don't have a home printer and there's a office store that does printing in your area, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What else do we have?
Well, we didn't talk about April.
No.
April asks, will they work with the TMNT City Fall or the BTAS game?
Batman the Animated Series. Yes.
They are part of the Adventure Universal Game System, AUGS, I believe it's called.
And I've got a couple of examples to show off that it'll work. So if you want to collect these guys up.
I will, most certainly.
So, here's a couple examples that kind of match. This one's a pretty good one to start
Do we
with.
need to zoom in?
Probably, because it's going to be easier to see the different colors. So, here's an example from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's grid-based, and the different types of terrain are colored. So there's 2 green boxes for the trees. There's a yellow box here for the fountain.
It showcases what's difficult terrain, what's blocking terrain.
Yeah, there's slow, rough, covered, elevated, blocking, unstable, obscuring, all kinds of things. There's a little cheat sheet for all the different colors you can have. Here's another one that's just a whole bunch of the trees. Got a little red one down here completely blocking because it's a big old trunk.
This one is from...
Ooh. Take my hand out. Okay, there we go.
This one is from TMNT, and so is this one?
Yeah, both of them.
Wow, they don't match well, do they?
Well, I mean, they're too different. But anyway, the idea here is that they have called out specifically where terrain affects movement, line of sight, that kind of deal.
Correct.
As you can see from our tiles, that isn't the case. But we still have the grid, so you can play. So, let me get it on the screen. So, of course, it's grid-based combat. You can move, you can get distances. The minis work wonderfully. In fact, Slimer is now a Ninja Turtle. You can absolutely play TMNT and the Batman Animated Series on these tiles. They just don't come with the squares that say what is line of sight blocking and not. You'll have to decide that beforehand, before you play, and, go with that as you go.
Exactly.
What's next? What we got? Renee. Will the tiles come with Zombicide missions?
Believe it or not, right now, no. Because they're marketed as a universal product for many games and systems and stuff. I can't put out missions for them to be included when you join the Kickstarter. However...
I mean, the alternative would be putting out a Zombicide mission and a TMNT mission and a Fallout board game mission, and there's so many games, we'd have to lock down all of those rules and all of those together, and that's a huge packet to come with these tiles.
However, after the Kickstarter, we do plan on rebooting my Walk of the Dead missions and bringing those out, which will use these tiles.
And it's going to be good.
It'll also use the regular Zombicide tiles as well.
It'll be similar to what we've already done for the last 2 years for Extra Life.
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't watched our Extra Life streams, they're up on YouTube.
I mean, they are quite hefty, but you don't have to watch the entirety of like 24 straight hours. You can jump in the middle and see how we're using the custom tiles with the regular tiles, doing
Correct.
our own mission things.
And I think the best stream to showcase the custom tiles would have been the 2021 stream. Because that one we showcased the scrolling rules.
Right. Which I'm currently in the process of writing up.
Yeah.
So we can release that free for you.
We are going to... We released Day 2, which is last year's mission, last year. But we never understood why we didn't release Day 1.
Honestly, I'm just lazy. That's what it comes down to. But
we're working on Day 1. He'll have it all set, looking beautiful, and that'll be posted.
I mean, as soon as it's done, we'll throw it up for everyone to have.
Yep. And you can try out the mission, try out the rules yourself, because we did find the scrolling rules are kind of fun.
And it's a lot less wieldy than what we did last year, which was just the biggest board you could possibly imagine.
6x6.
It was a trip, and it was fun.
6 of these tiles.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You know, you can't see 6x6. It was insane.
Like we are. Let's be fair. Absolutely like we are.
We are doing a Day 3 this year, but that will show up later.
I mean, we've got, missions to design.
We got to design that
finalizing.
mission. I mean...
It's in the works.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Come October. Again, for charity and Extra Life, so...
Always good.
Yes. The next one...
Thank you.
Keldazar writes, will the tiles be available after the Kickstarter?
What do you think?
Well, it does depend on if we get funded as to whether or not the printed tiles will be available after the Kickstarter.
I mean, that makes sense. If we don't get funded, we're not going to have them printed for distribution at all. We're just going to have our little bits here that we're not going to share because they're so cool.
The whole idea of the Kickstarter is to get the funding so we can afford to pay the manufacturer to print them for us and then get them out to you guys. So you have a nice, durable product. Because the ones that we made here at home...
And we've been pretty gentle with them.
We're gentle, but, they still peel and whatnot. They're not perfect, but those are pretty darn good. So we're hoping that we get funded.
Now, as far as the digital files go...
The digital files...
There are already a few select available on Patreon.
Correct.
For Linkster Games. However, the rest of them is kind of up in the air.
Correct. The Patreon currently has, I would say, 6 of the 8 tile sets that are currently unlocked on the Kickstarter. And once the Kickstarter's done, I'll be reopening my Patreon. Because I closed it up because I didn't want to charge them while this was going on, because I wouldn't be able to do tiles for them when some of them were just there to support me and get a digital version in the temporary setting and then later get the full product when the Kickstarter came out.
Yeah.
So I'll reopen that up probably sometime in May or beginning of June. I'll kick that back open and start doing digital tiles again. That's probably where we'll see the fantasy ones first show up, is over there. And Invader tiles.
Ooh, going sci-fi too.
I do have one tile that I want to do for Invader, if you will, but it's a modern tile.
Okay.
It's a crashed UFO.
Oh, like a Roswell. It doesn't even have to be in the desert. Just
Nope.
having a crashed UFO would be pretty cool.
I want a crashed UFO for modern, so those of you that want to use the Invader zombies in modern, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like a War of the Worlds kind of thing.
You got it. You got it.
That'd be pretty nice.
Yes.
But not part of this Kickstarter, but look forward to that in the future.
Correct. We got a lot of things coming down the pike. Oh, yes.
I guess in a similar vein, Angel asks, if you don't make your Kickstarter goal, what happens? And we've kind of alluded to that already, where we have some of them, they'll be reopened for Patreon. So if you want to support, Linkster Games on Patreon, you can go down and check him out there, get some of these tiles digitally.
Correct. The digital tiles will be there. Some of them will be, some of the ones that are not yet there but are in the Kickstarter will go there. Others, they're not going to appear there.
I mean, there's a few sneaky things that we've got going on that,
Right.
Even patrons aren't going to get 100% of all the digital files that he's made. So,
Well, maybe. It depends. It depends. I mean, I do want to, keep my patrons happy and,
of course.
Whatnot.
And thank you for supporting on Patreon if you are a patron already.
Yes, I have a few of you guys. But as far as, if the Kickstarter doesn't go through, I may reevaluate how the tiles go and work with the manufacturer, see if costs can be cut. Maybe adjust things, because this is the first Kickstarter and there was a lot of things that kind of were last minute. This didn't work right, and now it's permanent in the Kickstarter kind of idea. One of the big things was the dang shipping.
Yeah, actually, if you want to skip to that, we actually have a question specifically about it. Hey, Frederick, what's the deal with shipping and why is it so expensive?
Well, the shipping being expensive to places like Europe, the U.S. isn't so bad. It's $15 for 8 tiles to be shipped. 8 tile packs, not one tile. No, 8 tile packs, which is a whole stack of these guys.
So that's a total of 64 tiles?
Yeah, that's a big stack.
Yeah,
it's
big
a lot of a lot of tiles, and that's going to be like $15-$20 to ship. Because of the weight. Mm-hmm. And that's to the U.S. But in Europe,
silent. Yes, we are absolutely crushing Mission 9 Q&A. Thank you.
Yes. We'll know in 2 weeks if we actually win or not.
Oh, that's a fair point. You got to keep hold of the Kickstarter to see how we're doing.
Yep. But as far as Europe goes, the shipping prices to go over there have been insane. Ever since the pandemic, shipping containers the prices went through the roof.
Was it the Blame the Evergreen? Was that the ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal?
One
of them? Oh no.
One, you could blame that.
There was a whole host of things that weren't in our control that have been playing havoc with everybody.
Well, Arizona built a wall out of shipping containers.
I don't even want to get into that. It's so silly.
I don't even know.
But needless to say, we are working really hard to bring shipping down. What you see on the Kickstarter right now is just an estimate. It's just upfront, like worst case, because we're going to try and bring it down.
And believe it or not, when I did up the Kickstarter, that was one of the things that I shouldn't have clicked the button that I did, because it should have just stayed an estimate and not charged anybody for shipping until I went ahead and got the backer kit ready to rock, and then You guys get your questions, which tiles do you want? And that's when you would pay for the shipping, not up front. So a couple of things kind of got screwed because the shipping to the UK is not $62 for 8 tile packs. It's actually about $20 less. It's like $42, $45, which when I started the Kickstarter, when I was putting it all together, it was $62 to ship to Europe.
But not anymore.
But when I went to start the Kickstarter, it had dropped down into the 40s because I got talking with my manufacturer, and they're like, we can do fulfillment here. It'll be even cheaper for you.
Yeah.
Instead of shipping it all to me and then having me do it.
Which is, twice shipping.
Right. Where having them do it, it cuts the cost of the product. It cuts the cost of the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And people get it quicker and better and cheap. All around better for everybody.
So, it's good. Let's see. We've touched on this next question pretty closely, but just to reiterate, Kordak.
He's Klingon.
Oh, excuse me. I don't speak Klingon natively, so
are all
please don't
of the
murder me.
art assets identical to previous images we've seen over the years, or have they been recreated with this project in mind?
The second one. New. I mean, starting this, 2012, with the Zombicide, the original, coming out, first edition. Making those tiles, they didn't hold up.
No, they did not hold up at all.
So all of this is new. The new assets, new terrain, new gritty itty-bitty little bits, blood stains and cracks in the pavement.
I'm actually curious about something.
What?
Did I send you... I sent you that image of what they looked like before, right?
I'd have to go looking for it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have to have you go looking for it. I can go looking for it.
Well, okay. Maybe in the meantime, I will...
Because I want to show off what they looked like before compared to what they look like now. And I think I can do that. I just have to bring up...
Let's get some of these guys.
This. Itty bitty gritty bits. Yeah, some of the itty bitty gritty bits, they worked. Oh, you're good. Yeah. There you go.
Gotta line up the little guy.
Yes.
But here is a wonderful little gas station.
It is a
mart.
It is a convenience store.
And I hope that's standard enough on camera. But simple convenience store. You've got the connections on either side here. That'll hook up to the regular Zombicide tiles, so I might grab one of these. They'd match up just right. This is one of the original second edition tiles here. It matches up lovely. You've got some really good crosswalk work for, a gas station. But it's really to help out where the zones are for Zombicide and for the different distances for other games. So you can have your survivors kind of coming in to loot the van and coming in to try to break into the gas station while zombie hordes are coming up from behind the broken down cars here. Got a couple over here too. We'll say that there's an attendant that's locked themselves in the gross bathroom.
Yep.
I don't know how far back you're going to have to go, but it's going to be a little bit.
It shouldn't be that far. I mean, I suppose I could have just ran over to the other computer and grabbed it from there.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be on camera, question mark?
I might have my back to the camera and you could still entertain the masses. Oh, it's way back.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to give up on the search there, because that's... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I will give up on the search. But suffice to say that the tiles from back then. Most of the art...
They don't hold a candle, let's be fair.
Yeah. Oh, no. The cars from back then are... crap.
I mean, like, just grabbing one at random. Got a little motorcycle here. You know, just even at a distance, motorcycle, little small guy.
Oh.
You get a specific truck.
Oh, that is a very specific truck.
Yeah, check it out.
And if you have read the comics, you know whose truck that is. Ned.
In fact, if you'd like, I can replace... Ooh, that fell apart. That one with this one.
Oh, yes. That is true. Pull this guy out of there, and let's put one of the real ones in.
So, these are all broken out, but check that out. This is the actual tile you'll get with the Kickstarter, printed out. It has little die cutout stuff. That's why they're all cut out. And same guy, but high quality cardboard, similar to those guys. It's got a little faint circles on top for where people can driver and passenger there, or without, whatever you prefer.
Exactly. And most of the tile packs will come with cars.
I mean, all but one pack has vehicles in them, if I remember right. Although that's you know.
No, there's a couple of packs that do not.
Okay, you know better than I do.
The
let's be fair.
Highway 4 does not.
Okay, so Highway
because
85,
that
tile pack 4.
Right, that one has 8 tiles instead of 6 and 2 car tiles.
Okay,
because the packs are all 6 tiles and 2 car packs. So you have a smattering of extra cars. But since I did Highway Set 4, which was, for lack of a better term,
Uber Highway.
An Uber Highway with just a crap ton of cars already on it, because it's a wedged in kind of a place.
Do you want to throw these out?
Yeah, we could. Just go.
Crack the zombies out.
I really love the feel of this thing.
Isn't it good?
The feel of Ned's truck. Take that one out and put one of the other ones in. Because that's an end piece.
I'll grab one of these guys.
Yeah, but that's an end piece.
So I'm going to move the end piece. Also, I'm going to be right back.
Okay, you're going to be right back.
I am going to be right back.
I will continue setting up another series of cars. And bring it up a little bit. You can see this is Highway Pack 4, and I also have a Highway Pack 5 that I've done up. But this is Pack 4 and 5 together. And here's Ned's truck, because you can't drive on this side of the road. You have to drive on that side of the road. But you can easily see where Ned is sitting in his truck, because that's actually Ned. Bagby is in with him. I remember Bagby. See? Bagby. You know, they're in the truck driving down the road. You got a couple other survivors with a dog, because I got to reach them. And they're going down this section of road, looking through the cars, while the zombie horde, a couple of hot dog guys, are wandering down the road towards them. You know, nice and simple and whatnot. It looks really good. Now, with the idea that we're talking about these cars, okay, the ones on the tiles, They're just on the tiles. They don't move. But, like with Ned's truck, got Ecto 1. You got a cop car. You've got this military vehicle. You've got a 63 Corvette. You got this guy here. You know. You got Baby. Oh, Baby. You got a pickup truck. You've got the Batmobile. You know, all these different cars. You've even got that guy. Oh, he went off the board. You can't see him. Boop. There. The Mystery Machine. I've created all these things because this is a sports car, a muscle car. This is a pimp car. This is an SUV. Police. You know, large vehicle. You know, well, actually, a large vehicle would be this guy. Whoop. Here's a large one.
School
Thumb.
bus.
There's a large one. They all, in Zombicide, but in any RPG, you can do what you want. But in Zombicide,
We've already come up with the rules for him.
came out with this last year.
Free download. You can go check it out. Links to special car rules.
And it has rules for all of the various cars. You know, like a large car, pimp mobile. This one here. It's a large pimp mobile. What does it mean?
Oh, you can search it for a pimp weapon.
The
or
pimp
epic
weapon crate. But it's large, which means that when it's used to make a car attack, it has +1 die. So a normal car is, I believe, at the beginning of my little pamphlet here, is 3, 4, 2.
So 3
But-
dice, 4+, 2 damage on a hit.
But a large vehicle is 4, 4, 2.
1 extra die to attack with, because it's easier to hurt people with a bigger car.
Right.
Who would have thought?
And if you have this massive school bus, that has 2 extra dice and that extra damage. So it's a 5, 4, 3.
Which means you can absolutely run down an abomination. However, there's more rules about what happens when you do it.
Because massive vehicles can destroy an abomination. However, if it does, the car is also destroyed. And when a car is destroyed, everybody gets ejected from it.
And hurt. Because
And hurt.
Ramming into an abomination and destroying a school bus is not a nice, gentle encounter.
No, it is not. This rulebook, which is free, by the way, it's over on my Patreon. I'll have a link to it when I throw this up on YouTube.
Yep.
It also has special rules for Christine.
The car abomination.
The car abomination. Oh, God, that thing
Car-
was so great.
Carbomination? But that... is
Car
that-
abomination.
Yeah.
Because we used Christine last year, or 2 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
We used it 2 years ago. Man, was she a pain.
Pain in the butt.
The DeLorean.
Yeah. Which, hilarity. We should run one of those missions one of these times, because...
We do
my
have
goodness.
to.
It's so good.
Oh, and speaking of the DeLorean, I did make my first ever custom Undead or Alive tile.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a train track with a DeLorean on it.
Because, who doesn't want to use the train rules with a DeLorean to try and get it up to 88 miles an hour?
We have that mission in mind. We've got to build it around. Once we're done playing the book missions, we're going to finish the mission to get that DeLorean up to 88. It'll be beautiful and glorious.
So, look forward to that.
Yes.
But all of these come with rules in addition to what your basic standard Zombicide car will do.
Right. And the car rules on the back, not only does it have our smiling faces,
Which are really good. You did a good job with that.
but it has
Bonus.
a bonus car
Mystery van.
with its rules. The Mystery Machine. The Mystery Van.
Mystery van. Mystery machine is not
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
No, it is the Mystery Van, which can be used once per game to remove a abomination from play and replace with a standard walker.
Well, let's see who this Bat-bomination really is.
Whoop!
Mr. Jenkins. It's beautiful.
It is.
That's so good.
It's beautiful. And that goes with my Scooby Gang characters, which are pretty awesome.
Let's see. I'm going to go back to some of the questions we've got, because there's a couple we need to touch on. Like Cindy Ann. Cindy Ann asks, why have you not backed any campaigns? Are you trustworthy? How dare you not back any campaigns?
I am 100% trustworthy. You can take it from me.
Or...
But in reality, the reason why Linkster Games has not backed any is because I'm keeping it separate from my personal Kickstarter. My personal Kickstarter, I've backed over 20 games, including all but one Zombicide.
Which is impressive.
And, of course, the TMNT, the BTAS, because I love that system. It's a fun system.
Yeah, and it's sad we're not making more for that, but...
I know.
We'll get on that. And when it comes to kickstarting specifically for this, I mean, Linkster Games, the corporate entity account, or what, I don't know, LLC or...
The corporate account, the LLC.
Yeah. That hasn't backed anything yet, because it's just brand new for this Kickstarter.
Right. And I want to keep it separate from me. If I do find a Kickstarter that I feel fits with the brand, you know, or say for an example, they decide, oh yeah, you know, you can do it as a retailer, then I'll sign up to the Kickstarter for that campaign as a retailer and do it that way.
And yeah, the Slayer's like, yeah, it's mostly zombies. There's a lot of Zombicide Kickstarters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7.
So like original, Angry Neighbors.
Original, season 1.
Season 1.
Original, which is season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2, season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Black Plague. Green Horde.
5.
Invader.
6.
2E.
And then 2E came with all the additions of like the conversion kit and the...
Correct.
Okay.
And Invader came with Dark Side and stuff.
Okay. So 7...
And then UOA.
Yeah. Undead or Alive and the extra stuff there.
And that's all the Zombicide that I've done. That's 8 out of the 20 plus.
Which, to be fair, is a big portion, but there's another 12 there that are other Kickstarters.
Other Kickstarters, like the Battletech ones.
Oh, you love the giant robots.
Oh, I love big stompy robots, yes. They're fun. I need to get you into it. I know you're not much into big stompy robots, but it's tactics. It's a lot of tactics. Oh, that's right. I didn't.
Snap, so it is only 7. The Invader...
Calling me out on the fact that I didn't do the Invader Kickstarter.
How dare you support local game stores?
Yeah, the only reason why I went and did Invader, why I have Invader in my collection, is because of that knucklehead going, you should really get Invader. They have it here. You should really get it.
Too many game mechanics with big stumpy robots. Mechanics.
There's a lot of mechanics in that game.
A lot of antics, baby.
No, there's a lot of number crunching in that game.
Its barrier to entry is a little taller than normal, I would say, because there's a lot of like, oh, you hit a leg, it means this. And you hit your weapons here, it means that.
No, not really. No, it's easier than that.
I looked at the sheet and it's like, good grief.
Well, because you roll a die, this is the location you hit. You do this much damage with the weapon. Easy peasy.
Yeah, okay.
If you went internal, you did this. You rolled to see what it hit. But you can also go into the Alpha Strike version.
Yeah.
It's even easier.
Okay.
But that's getting away from these tiles here that were lovely showing off.
That's true.
And how did Ned get across the barrier of the road into that traffic jam?
Aliens.
And you do realize it's actually Ned in the truck.
Yeah. I was actually really excited to hear that. I was coming back and I heard, yeah, it's actually Ned in Ned's truck. That's good. Let's see. Thomas asks, is this a one-man project, or do you have a team helping you with these tiles? And the short answer is I'm not.
It's a one-man band for designing and creating the tiles.
So
However,
I don't have artistic input other than I like this better over that. I'm not doing any photoshopping, any art.
As I'm building these tiles, I basically am submitting them to
Dice.
Dice Golem.
And a few other friends.
And a few others. I have a Zombicide group that is exclusive to me, which will probably be in the coming weeks, month-ish. I'm working with one of our moderators, Slayer Ling, on the Linkster Games Discord.
Ooh, exciting.
So we hope to reveal that soon, and I'll post previews and stuff up over there.
I mean, you love your teasers and your sneak peeks.
Oh, I do love those.
Oh, it's so
yes.
good sometimes too. Oh my goodness.
Yes, some of them are quite nice because, I get to do it, and it's like, people are like, huh? What is that? So, yeah. But we also, Slayer Ling, he helps out with doing...
Oh, that's a good question.
It is not Patreon exclusive.
I'm sure that will give, bigger benefits to Patreon supporters. But
badges and stuff, sure.
But we're not going to be like, hey, this is exclusive only to patrons. We can... Patrons. Not Patreons.
Patrons.
Patrons.
It's Patreon, but they're patrons. And speaking of patrons...
Yes.
And I was thinking logos and emotes and stuff.
I got a shirt.
Yeah, one of my emotes, I got to notice that it was active.
Oh, okay.
And I can't do it here.
Well, it's that guy right there, isn't it? Little smiley face.
Oh, I can. Yeah.
I see a couple.
It doesn't show up. Why does it not show up? What
the
blue bloody blazers?
Yeah. Slayer's got my face.
Well, no. It wasn't this one.
Although that one's a good one. A nice little, crooked biohazard.
No, the Linkster Games logo was approved out of the blue last night.
That's good.
But I don't know if it's the animated one or not.
There's an animated one. Wow, you getting fancy?
Yeah, it's the logo.
So, in fact, actually, hold on. If I can do a weird crouch, get my hair out of the way. Got a bigger one in the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
That logo there, I have it in a rainbow kind of effect.
Oh, yeah?
Where it's flashing slowly.
Oh, nice.
Not fast to where it would affect anybody's...
Oh, photosensitivity and such.
Right. Because I know some people that, if they get
Bag of rice.
Flashing stuff, they go into seizures and stuff.
Yeah, of course. And that just seems rude, honestly.
Bag of rice? What are you gonna do with a bag of rice?
I'm gonna cook it up and put rocks in it and throw it at the zombies.
Oh, really? You mean this guy here?
You mean El Cholo?
Because that's El Cholo's face, not actual Danny Trejo, which is in the game, by the way. Everybody knew that, though.
So, we did kind of touch up on this next one from Chris. What tiles are next on the agenda after the Kickstarter?
Whether the Kickstarter completes or not.
Success or no.
Either way. Still going to truck on making custom tiles because I love doing it. And eventually, we'll redesign the Kickstarter and do it again. Because I really want you guys to enjoy these tiles.
mean, it's one thing doing it like we have with these tiles, where we've printed them out and put them on cardboard and we're making do. And it's another thing to get them actually printed from a professional manufacturer, having them high quality like this so they're not warping, they're not lifting up. We don't have to worry about the glue ourselves.
No
they're
bubbles.
Actually smooth, lovely. I'm just going to leave this up here where it totally makes sense to be. It's
Well, I mean, here. Just do this.
okay.
Boop. See? You can even see now which tile is professional and which one isn't. The professionally printed one is lighter because
it's the right color.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing it on a home printer or Staples, one of their big Xerox copier things, they don't turn out as well.
I mean, but you can absolutely do it yourself.
Right, you can. But the thing is, for the future, I want to finish up my Highway 85 series with bridges.
Like were you thinking just like a standard small over a river land bridge? You thinking
yes.
like a
overpass?
An
yes.
Overpass. What about
I have an overpass designed already that is just, for lack of a better term, it's just, the highway like this comes up to this and it looks like it's going under. But it's done in such a way that you could take two of them and put a bridge. Or you could take the actual Zombicide tiles and it's a tunnel at that point.
Oh, fancy.
So,
okay.
Nice and easy. And if you wanted to make an extra wide bridge, you throw one of these in there to make it a 4-lane bridge.
Because it's modular. You just throw them all together and you're good to go.
Exactly. So I want to finish up the bridges.
I mean, we've already mentioned putting down a link to the Invader, doing a modern tile that's a UFO crash.
I also want to continue expanding on the military and the city tile set. The military tile set specifically because I have been reading/listening to a series of zombie apocalypse books called Z Risen. It's by an author, Timothy Long, who is a pretty decent friend of myself and Slayer. More Slayer than me. I just found out about it because Slayer said, hey, you need to read these books.
Slayer is very good about, hey, go watch this. Hey, go buy this. Hey, go read this.
Exactly.
And it's really good.
And
thank you.
And because he did that, and I started listening to these books, coming soon is going to be a series of Z Risen missions. Mm-hmm. I am in the process of working out how much it's going to cost to get these characters from his book printed.
Yeah.
Including his special zombie. His zombie universe has standard walkers, does have brutes.
Occasionally. And
does not have runners yet, and does not have abominations that you would expect. No bad abomination, no
pop culture reference.
Obama Boar or whatever. His abominations are called shufflers. If you played Zombicide, you know who Shia LaBeouf is.
Shia LaBeouf.
A.K.A. Actual Cannibal. The shufflers walk like that. They're on all fours, and they move like a walker until they get close to you, and then they leap upon you. And we're going to play test the rules on them. They are nasty, especially when you've lopped off any abominations in the deck and just left them in, and you can have more than one on the board. And
I mean, subject to playtesting, the rules aren't ironed out 100% yet, but we're excited to bring them to life. We're on life.
On life.
Yeah.
And I actually have created minis for these that I want to get printed so we can use them in this.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of fun. So we have that. I also have the suburbs I want to do.
Oh, that's right. Where we'd have not only modular bits like this or the city tiles that you get from your standard 2nd edition Zombicide.
Do you want to quickly grab Night of the Living Dead?
Sure, I can do that.
That's the 8th Kickstarter for Zombicide. I forgot about Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. So no, that's 7.
Oh, no,
I have 8 Zombicides, but only 7 were kickstarted. Because I didn't kickstart Invader. I bought that from the local store.
But this one is going to be an extra one on top of the 7 I thought you already had counted.
No, I counted Invader as one I kickstarted, but I didn't.
Okay. There we go.
What's animated?
Animated. There you go.
You want to pick up tiles real quick?
I mean, if I have to.
Sure. Because Night of the Living Dead...
It departed from the standard Zombicide formula because it's specific to an intellectual property.
Correct.
And
however...
They did a lovely house.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here. Have a house.
Well, let's throw these guys together. Just going to put them in at random. Is that good?
Yep. Just,
center, more or less.
Yeah, that's fine. But this is the house from Night of the Living Dead Zombicide. So it's a very fun game. It's got its own cool mechanics.
Like you can board up windows and the zombies are trying to break in.
You can see this is the farmhouse. This is a field. But this is the farmhouse, and it's comprised of 4 tiles.
This is a pretty big house.
I am actually going to create suburbs that are based on this concept. You're going to have a house just like this with 4 sections. One will have a driveway.
So it connects to a street.
So it'll connect to a street.
There'll be a little bit of lawn
around it, maybe some trees, depending.
A nice trampled flower bed, really
right.
Good.
And then it'll have 3 other sections that comprise the corners of the house. And it'll be modular to the point where this one doesn't always have to be here. It could be here. And this one could be down here.
And we won't just have 4, of course. We're going to have packs of them. So there's going to be all kinds of options for different rooms of the house.
It'll be a pack of 8 tiles, so you can build 2 houses, but they'll be so modular that tiles 4 through 8, you could take 6, 7, and 8 and put them with tile 1, or 1, 2, and 7, and 4. Can be a house. And then there'll be another pack that would expand the house in such a way that you could have a bigger house with something in the middle.
That have a big old, one of those mansion houses in the high-end neighborhoods.
So...
where it's something similar to, one of these guys.
This sucks, but...
It's not going to match because we don't have any prototypes.
We don't have the prototypes. I haven't built them yet.
But
you'll have You'll have a big house kind of like that.
Where you can fit whatever you want, and we'll have a kitchen in one, and a bedroom in the other, a living room somewhere, a big TV broken into, the whole works.
Yeah. And it'll be completely modular in this way. It'll be an interesting take because there's no tiles, there's no maps for a suburb.
I mean, the way standard 2nd edition goes, there are a few individual rooms that look lived in, like maybe an apartment. But having like a suburb like this, especially with our board scrolling rules from the first year we did Extra Life, I think that'd be fantastic to like go house to house and loot and try and survive, and block up doorways, and it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And then, surprise, that house is infested. Or that house has survivors that don't like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think that's an element that we might want to put into some of our missions.
Oh, of course.
Because most...
I mean, when you're talking about a zombie apocalypse, it's one thing to be living versus dead, cooperative and awesome. But what we see in a lot of media is my group of living versus your group of living versus these bikers that have come in versus these military guys that have come in.
While the zombies are trying to munch everybody.
And it makes a more dynamic and tense
you
situation.
You get that power trip that everyone gets power hungry and, you know, they want your stuff.
Yep. And so, you know, representing that in something like Zombicide with custom missions would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Which my Walk of the Dead will do because it's going to be geared around The Walking Dead. So it'll be missions similar to The Walking Dead in a way, like the TV show. It'll be inspired. I'll recommend specific characters that I've got a list of the Zombicide character and what they would have been in the TV show for Walking Dead.
Yeah, and that's only second edition, the modern style. We've also already talked about doing fantasy tiles for like Black Plague, Green Horde, doing those custom tiles, which are on the docket.
Yep.
And maybe doing, you know, invader tiles if we feel that we want to go back to like a space base kind of deal or a space station.
And as far as continuing with the modern theme, I want to make a farmland set.
True.
You know, I'll make maybe some forest tiles. I also have tiles based on, I'm going to call it the Quiet Knoll, which is not an anagram. What would you call it? The Quiet Knoll is the same thing as Silent Hill.
It's a synonym.
There you go. It's a synonym.
I mean, it's...
Because I can't call it Silent Hill.
Well, I mean, we don't have rights to that yet.
So I'm calling it a Quiet Knoll. And I'll have tiles based on that because I watch the movies and, you know, I can't play the video games because I get sick playing first-person shooters.
Fair.
Or even third-person that, you know, whip. You know, I chunks. You know?
I mean, it's not so much a horror experience as it is having a bucket experience, and that's not a good way to play a game.
No, and I'm not taking Dramamine for every video game play I do that's first person. I did it once. The people around me hated me for it, and I just didn't want to continue doing something like that.
So, as far as future goes, we've got big plans. I mean, almost all editions of Zombicide, a bunch of other games like the TMNT, Batman Animated, we've got Night of the Living Dead inspired, suburban houses, all kinds of things, all over the place. I'm sure we're going to do Undead or Alive at some point.
Yep.
Because we've already got the one for the DeLorean. Really, any game we come across, or any fun movie, video game, you know, pop culture reference as far as in our wheelhouse, we're probably going to put a hint of it in some tile somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Which does lead in a little bit to this final question.
Yeah.
Hans asks, you said something about seeing a sneak peek.
Hans.
Today. Hans?
Hans.
Hans?
Hans.
Hans?
I don't think there's an S at the end. It's a Z. Hans.
Hanzed?
No, it's not Han Solo. It's Hans.
Hans.
He's related to Ed German.
Oh, okay. That makes sense to me and only me.
And anyone who knows Taekwon Lee, boot to the head. Mm-hmm. But it is a reference to, the sneak peek I wanted to do. If we are funded and we get to the final stretch goal, which has not been put up there, which I will put up there
pretty soon.
Like, after we're done here. it's going to be a 26 tile set. So 3 sets combined into one. It's going to be huge.
I mean, and it's going to be like a step above.
It's
goodness.
going to tower over expectations.
I mean, literally.
Because this right here should clue you in on something. And if you don't understand the reference, who is that guy sitting right there?
If I had to guess, I would say an action hero from a beloved Christmas movie.
No, that's actually Nick from Zombicide.
Oh, excuse me.
First edition Survivor. Who was based on an action hero from the 80s and 90s because they kept going with the franchise.
Yeah.
But he did not say, the quarterback is toast. But on that note, the quarterback is this guy right here. Does this give you any clues as to what it might be for this idea?
I think I'm getting warmer. Like I'm pointed towards the idea. I'm getting an inkling of what's going on. Yeah, something's coming to mind. It's not fully formed yet, but
It says LAPD on the side.
oh, okay.
This is actually an M8 Greyhound from 1943. It's a military vehicle without the turret that usually sits atop it. They didn't have one on this
Fair.
because this is a police vehicle.
Okay. Police involvement.
Police involvement. It's a tower because it towers above, and it is actually kind of weird looking, but it's shaped like this. This tower is going to have a central area which is already mapped out like that, with stairs,
some elevators. It looks
some
like.
elevators. The bathrooms, they're going to be static. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors.
And
It's going to have a lobby. It's going to have an office floor, an under construction floor, a roof, and a basement. So 5 total floors, and it's going to be a 2x2, so 4 tiles per floor.
it's pretty good.
Now that comes out to 8. That comes out to 20 tiles for 5 floors. I also have 4 tiles for the entrance to the building. So the entrance at the top, where you see the word entrance, I'm waving my arms here, like you can see me pointing at the damn screen.
Yeah, let me just put my hand over. Oh, wait.
I'm going to have 2 tiles to signify the outdoor entrance and 2 tiles to signify the back entrance. And the tiles will mesh up to the tiles that we've got. You're not going to be able to show them because that's a static image over there.
What am I doing? But you can tell just from looking at the edges here, that same lawn kind of texture, the little trees on the edge, are going to match up with the other custom tiles we're already coming out with in this Kickstarter.
Because if I were to just take this right here, go, and just go, let me do this, whoop, and just go like this.
Bring it on over.
See, it meshes up quite nicely to them.
So there's some of the custom tiles there on the side, the trees, you got the road.
But if you still haven't figured out what it is, which we're calling it Kitsune Plaza.
I think it's Kitsune,
Kits-
but I could be wrong.
Kitsune?
My pronunciation's awful.
Either way, there is the blueprint to said tower. The Nakatomi Plaza from the TV.
TV? I mean, you watch it on a TV, I suppose.
Well, Fox is a TV broadcasting network.
Okay, so in a technically
It was a movie. Die Hard was a movie in the late 80s. Starring Bruce Willis as John McClane. Hans Gruber's the bad guy. It's one of the greatest Christmas movies ever.
It doesn't have Edward Norton, it's great.
Yeah. And we're calling it Kitsune Plaza.
Yeah, we spent this whole time building it up and like, wait a minute. Thank you, Silent. Your shock is absolutely
spot
appreciated. Yes.
Kitsune Plaza. We're calling it Kitsune Plaza because, one, we can't call it Nakatomi Plaza.
Well, because obviously, yeah.
And Nakatomi Plaza was based on a real plaza called Fox Plaza in LA.
And so,
we can't call it Fox Plaza either because I'm sure somebody's going to be upset about that.
But we can totally make up our own.
Well, in a way we did, yes.
Kitsune.
We're still calling it Fox Plaza.
Just not exactly.
It is. It's still Fox Plaza, but it's the Japanese name for Fox.
It's just similar but legally distinct.
And since Nakatomi was a Japanese...
Oh, was Nakatomi Japanese? Okay.
Sure was. So, Japanese Tower, American Tower Fox, Japanese Kitsune, plot. There you go.
And you better believe there's going to be a mission going up the tower trying to take down zombies and rescue hostages. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah. And I don't have a picture of it, but I forgot. I should have put one in here.
We are 110% prepared.
But it is going to feature, providing they are completed in time and I can get them once I even finish this, because I've been working diligently, and you see how far I've gotten. See, that's how far I've gotten. That's how far I've gotten. The base structure.
Yeah, laying out where corridors and rooms are going to go.
Right. I took a break and had to do the quarterback. And I've been doing the cop cars.
You've got a couple wheels in motion for...
I did Argyle's limo. That was fun to do.
There you go.
All that stuff. But it's going to use these risers that a guy on Discord has come up with.
And they look fantastic.
And it will basically raise up.
But I don't know
you ain't going to see it.
Now he's putting his hand out there like he can actually show it.
You ain't going to see it, but if the boards, and we'll just take two boards, it doesn't matter. One board is going to be here.
So
that's going to be level 1. This is going to be the ground floor here.
So we'll put a mini for ground floor 1.
There. Fine. And you're going to have enough room to be able to reach in and grab minis and stuff. It's going to have a pretty, maybe not that tall, maybe about that tall.
No floating. There you go. But it's going to be beautiful because these risers, these are going to be columns holding up these two tiles. They're going to have little magnets to hold everyone together. It's going to be so cool because you can play on 2 different levels. So
splitting the party is going to be very fun.
Yeah, and possible.
And possible.
Hopefully not lethal for...
Right. Because you're going to be going up the staircases to do this, to do that. The basement's going to feature a vault. So this tower will work if you wanted to do a heist movie.
Yeah.
There was a certain heist movie not too long ago.
There's been a couple.
That came out that featured zombies.
Oh, okay. Heist with zombies.
Army of the Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not too long ago.
It was to a casino.
Uh-huh.
This isn't a casino.
But
you could totally do one like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
And so, it's exciting. It's really good.
It is. So I would love to see that come to fruition.
I mean, I just want to get my hands on it to play some. I'll be
Yeah.
fair.
And we'll try putting a camera to that.
We'll work on that.
Well, that won't be too bad, because if we do, we'll have the camera above looking down on it, but then we'll have another camera looking in to it.
We'd have to see the 2 floors. Yeah.
Not 4 floors.
Oh, we're doing all 4 at once?
Oh, yeah, because you got the ground floor.
Oh, no. Okay.
Floor
okay.
1, floor 2, and then roof.
Oh, my goodness. So that would be 16 minimum,
'Cause you
20 total.
You
for
got
5
you got the lobby. No, because you wouldn't have the basement. The basement would be off to the side.
I mean, we could do the basement.
You're going to have the lobby as the one on the table.
I'm just trying to wrap my
And
head
then
around
you're going
that.
to have the
my
party
goodness.
floor.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the construction floor. And then the roof.
Good grief.
The basement will be sitting off to the side, so you can go into the basement differently. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea how we're going to film it, testing it out, but we'll figure it out. We'll do something.
That will definitely be a little later this year, because, like I said, I got to finish the tiles first.
True.
You know, get them to actually look right. So, on that note, we'll go back to this screen.
Because that covers the questions we've gotten beforehand.
Yeah. And we covered the questions that were in the chat.
True. Any final questions? Get them in now.
Yeah, while we're here. While we're staring at you, while you're looking at our pretty little faces. Trimmed beards and all.
Well, this isn't really trimmed. Some of this back here is trimmed. This is just going wild. I don't know what this is doing.
Because you're trying to do something wild with it.
True. Also, I'm going to be playing a dwarf in an upcoming D&D game, and I figure I should go like a little wild on the beard, but not too wild.
Well, then what am I doing with... Oh, you want to see the other side of the board?
Yeah, you came
You
in.
missed it because you came in late.
So,
Swoop.
there we go.
Here, let me pull these out.
So here is one of the boards. I'm actually going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see them a little better.
Yeah, just crank it straight down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're fine. Whoop. There we go.
There we go. All right.
Zoom it in even more if you want.
So, here's one of the tiles. This is your standard sign, so like a Zombicide game would love to use this.
Because it does not have a grid.
But it does have the little imprints where you can put the different zones that you
Correct.
use.
And the zone markings are just, hidden enough, except for like the grass.
We've got actually printed
Ned's beautiful printed truck.
both sides. Or, if you prefer, grid.
It is the exact same image on the reverse side,
Just with the lovely 10 by 10 grid.
but it just has the grid on it. Because, if you look, big long couple of trees, the same big long couple of trees.
Yep. No problem, Silent.
Yeah. And I do like the idea of the grid. It does work great for a D, because I've always wanted to try picking up my D20 Modern again. I used to play a game called Top Secret back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I've heard
And
you mention that before.
And that's a modern type of game. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Spies and stuff. But yeah.
So, hopefully that covers all the questions you had, because that covers all the questions we have. If there are any future questions, we can try and address them individually, going through the Kickstarter or the other groups that we are frequent in.
Is it me, or does it look like you're looking up at the camera?
I mean...
No, it still looks like you're looking up at the camera. It's just weird.
I don't know.
It's just weird. It's like, I'm looking up at the camera, even though you're not really looking up at the camera.
Come on, Sneak. I could go by the camera. Hi, camera.
I love camera. I do. So, anyways, that's it for the Q&A.
Thanks so much for tuning in, checking it out.
Yep.
Kickstarter's still going on. Another 2 weeks to go, so get in while the getting's good.
Yep. And stick around next week. We'll be back with some more Undead or Alive gameplay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll actually finish the missions. Maybe.
Well, we're doing Mission 9 next for the second time.
And hopefully the final time.
Yeah, no kidding. Woohoo! So,
right.
There we go. Enjoy, everybody.
Farewell.
Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye-bye.